a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique, and everything in between in the Pacific Northwest sports world. I'm Jamie Council. Thanks for joining me.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Welcome to the Sports Council on ESPN 1340, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. I'm Jamie Council, and today we're joined by WIAA Director of Communications, Sean Bessette. Sean, thanks for joining me.
Hi, Jamie. Yeah, it's great to be here. Happy to be back this year.
I'm glad you had time for me. This is such a busy time for you. It's ring season.
Yeah, this is the start of a pretty busy tournament stretch. We're actually already kind of into the thick of it. Wrapped up state slow pitch just about 2 weeks ago and getting running with cross country here this weekend.
Yeah, so you're already in the thick of it. I know WIAA got second place. Somebody else had to claim it. And it was an East Side team. So Moses Lake winning slow pitch state championship at the 4A level. And that was kind of a crazy tournament where it got rained out, delayed. And you're the one that is in charge of finding answers when Mother Nature doesn't want to give you any.
Yeah, well, look, I would applaud our entire team when it came to some of the adjustments we made a couple weeks ago with state slow pitch. It's, we can't plan for weather, and when some adverse weather comes in, especially when we're talking about softball, the rain was coming down pretty hard in Yakima. And so moved venues, had to cancel some consolation games. We hate doing that because we want to be able to play all the games in full. But yeah, I mean, just really proud of our entire team for finding an alternative with West Valley High School stepping up, being able to play those 2 state championship games and still really dress it up and make it feel like a state championship event, despite the game cancellations, despite having to move a venue, and found a unique way to kind of cap off the first state championship of the school year.
Absolutely. So congratulations to the Chiawana Riverhawks, second in state, and great job to the WIAA, as well as West Valley stepping in, giving a location to play those games at. And now, speaking of Tri-Cities, you're coming to the Tri-Cities this weekend. It's state cross country in Pasco.
Yeah, this is a really fun event. Personally, I think it's one of my favorites, just because the sheer number of schools that get to come to this event. Pasco, the Tri-Cities, has been a great host to this event well before I was on board with the staff of the association. This will be my second state cross country meet. Last year, the weather held up for us. We're hoping that the weather holds up again this year. This is an awesome event. I have really fond memories of, Tent City getting set up on the Friday with all the schools bringing in their canopies and lining up the golf course. It's a full day of racing on Saturday too. Back to back. I think we've got somewhere in the range of over 2,200 student athletes participating at the meet, which is really awesome. And so just being able to see it all come together for what is a really positive event is exciting to see.
We kind of skipped over this because a lot was going on, but how long have you been with the WIAA for now?
Yeah, this is full school year number 2 for me. Started with the association back in February 2024, the week before state basketball. Pretty crazy time to start, but I'd had my experiences being a high school student in the state of Washington around state basketball tournaments, so I wasn't totally unfamiliar. Grew up in Auburn, Washington, attended Auburn High School. From there, I went to Central Washington University, where I got my undergrad in media and journalism, and then pivoted that into an athletic administration master's, working with the athletic department over at Central Washington. And so that pivoted into this opportunity. And I've been here since February 2024.
Yeah, no, this is kind of now being our yearly catch up. We had you on about this same time last year when you're still getting your bearings underneath you. So what's been your favorite part of working with the WIAA? I mean, you're involved in so many events.
Yeah. It's pretty cool to see everything kind of come to a head, a culmination at our state tournaments. These teams put in a whole lot of work to advance to the final stage. And so, the work internally that we put on, but the work happening at the schools from the coaches, the student athletes, the administrators, the families that empower the student athletes to be able to go out there and compete. Seeing it all come to a culmination is really awesome. And state cross country this weekend is really the epitome of that. With gosh, I think about 280 unique schools that are going to be there. So it's really kind of seeing everything come together at the final stages with our state championships.
So what are your predictions for Kamiakin cross country?
Oh man, I don't know. Hopefully some fast runners. No, these are always some really good races too. It's fun watching them come around the 1 mile marker and the 2 mile marker, and just the coming down the chute to the finish line. It's a really good setup we have at Sun Willows Golf Course in Pasco, and the reactions as these student athletes cross the finish line. It's pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah, I think one part of why I like cross country, joking or putting you on the spot aside, which you can't be too surprised, is that you can have an individual winner as well as a team winner. And I think that's such a fun part because you're racing together and individually. So it's kind of combining the best part of, two different types of a sport.
No, you're 100% right. It's both not only just an individual sport, but it's certainly a team sport too. Like I said, cross country is one of them that I have pretty high on my leaderboard of state championships we have.
So we'll have to wait till this weekend to see how Kamiakin does. Again, we're talking to Sean Bessette, Director of Communications for the WIAA. And when we come back, we'll talk more state tournaments coming up later in the fall. Those include volleyball, football. We'll have them coming up. Again, you're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
Back just in time for Thanksgiving, it's Biscoff season at Krispy Kreme. Try our 3 festive fall donuts with sweet maple and Biscoff cookie flavor, the perfect pairing for your Thanksgiving celebrations. We're thankful for our law enforcement, EMS, and military, with 10% off every day. And don't forget, fall fundraising's in full swing. Call or stop by to schedule yours. It's fun, easy, and delicious. That's your local Krispy Kreme, 2805 Dupertail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth and leave with a smile.
Living in a rental shouldn't mean settling for poor-tasting tap water. With Softwater Specialists, you can have pure, clean drinking water in your home, easily and affordably. Our countertop filtration system removes impurities, improves taste, and fits perfectly in any rental space. Plus, it can produce hot or cold water. No big installations, no hassle, just fresh, crisp water. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and love your water again. Softwater Specialists. See why we have a 5-star rating on more than 600 Google reviews. Visit softwaterspecialist.com and love your water where you live.
This is the moment many car buyers wait all year for. The model year-end sales event is on at McCurley Chevrolet. As new Chevy models roll in, remaining 2025s need to move fast. It's the perfect time to trade in, save big, and grab a deal you won't see again till next year. These are the offers people plan around. Get here before they're gone. Experience the model year-end sales event at McCurley Chevrolet. Your way home.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
You're listening to Jamie Council on the Sports Council.
Welcome back to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. We're talking high school playoff tournaments, and we're joined by Sean Bessette, Director of Communications for the WIAA. Will be in the Tri-Cities this weekend for cross country, but the fun doesn't stop there.
No, far from it. This is we're really entering a pretty hefty stretch of state championships now. Soccer, volleyball, swim and dive, football, all on the forefront. So yeah, this is championship season.
Yeah, so taking a look at the calendar, we already talked slow pitch softball. That went on the third weekend of October. Cross country is this weekend. And then next weekend, you have 1B, 2B, 1A, 2A state volleyball, as well as girls swimming and diving. So when you have so many tournaments going on, you guys have a really small team over there. I believe it's about 13. Is that still correct?
Yeah, it's just about a dozen of us here that are actually working in the office in Renton, Washington. No, you make a good point. This is, it's like I said, it's just about a dozen of us. So when we get into the thick of our tournament stretches and we got multiple locations going on at once, it's all hands on deck from everybody in the office. And it's really cool to see our team come together to dress up venues, to make sure our coverage team is all ready to go, and really firing on all cylinders at that point.
For state volleyball, that's a tournament that's changed a little bit over the past few years, where now it's 2 weekends, which I'm thankful for, because I think I've been in that gym till 2 a.m. because you have to play the games. So talk a little bit about that tournament. It's really fun that you can see all the best volleyball in one location at the Sun Dome in Yakima.
It doesn't get a whole lot better than 5 courts of volleyball happening at once, does it? It's a lot of volleyball taking place at one time. And it's a really cool scene. There's not a second that passes from the first match at 8 a.m. to the last match of the evening where you don't hear a volleyball hitting the court. And shoes screeching across the courts as well. No, it's a unique tournament. There's being able to play out these brackets and these consolation games all day long with these volleyball teams being able to play multiple games over and over and over again. It's really cool. They're pretty intense days of volleyball though, and we go back to back with 1B, 2B next Wednesday and Thursday, and then pivot that straight into 1A, 2A the Friday and Saturday. And then we come back the next week and do 3A, 4A state volleyball championships the following Friday and Saturday. It's a lot of volleyball. The Sun Dome is a great host for that event with those 5 courts and the number of schools that are coming in and out of the city and participating in that event.
So what are your predictions for Kamiakin volleyball?
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know about Kamiakin volleyball that much, to be totally honest with you. We'll see. Look, there's still district tournaments going on. We'll see where they land.
Anything could happen. Well, if anybody wants to hear about the Kamiakin volleyball team, we did have them on the Sports Council earlier in the year. If you want to get your knowledge up to date there. And so moving on beyond volleyball, football is kind of the big one, and it's so fun to see how that tournament has changed in the state of Washington. I mean, the media always changes, locations change is inevitable, but you guys are now entering another year having those state championship games at Husky Stadium.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed to have these state championship games at Husky Stadium. It is an awesome venue. We try to put on the most the best stages we possibly can. And they call it the greatest setting in college football for a reason. It's a pretty awesome stadium to hold these events in. We're super grateful to be there yet again for another year for those state championship games the first weekend of December.
Tell me, how does that kind of come to be? I know that when you guys were spread throughout, it was really something that seemed to magically come together, and it was, this might be 1 year, this is going to be 2 years. So what does that look like? Or is it just kind of take it as it comes and hopes and just hope it continues to happen? But what does that look like at the WIAA level?
Sure. I think, I don't know exactly the last year we had state championships at multiple high schools across the state. We have facility contracts with venues all across the state for our state championships. All of them are a little bit different. We were able to, build a relationship with UW to have these state championships at Husky Stadium, which is, like I said, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. for these state football championships. Yeah, it all depends, on the event and the venue. There's events like, baseball looking ahead to the spring where we have to operate on a year by year basis, because of, Major League Baseball schedule and things like that. It all depends on the sport and the venues we're working with. But there's no better place to host state football championships than Husky Stadium right now.
And those will be going on the first weekend of December. So that's really exciting. But the fun for you is kind of leading up to that. Not only are you doing, I lost count with 4 different classifications as you're doing swim and dive, volleyball, soccer, but you're also doing playoff football. And you don't even know where to schedule because it's single elimination. So that is such a puzzle for you guys to piece together. Okay, who won, who lost? Let's, getting these locations the week of, so many different pieces that you guys have to put into place.
Yeah, this is a pretty unique weekend. Once we get back from state cross country, we actually come together and see the state tournaments, the seeding committees for volleyball, soccer, and football. We'll see the state brackets for those tournaments this Sunday, November 9th. And so at that point, the volleyball ones, we all know those contests are going to be at the Sun Dome. Soccer, we have some various sites for opening round matchups. And then, football's kind of the same way. We'll get rolling, week 10 matchups this week prior to the state bracket. They'll see the state football bracket this Sunday. And then next week's those opening round matchups. The week after that is the quarterfinals, and then the semifinals that week of Thanksgiving. They're all happening at sites across the state. And so we're super thankful to the hosts that step up and host those contests all in advance of those state championship games at Husky Stadium.
Yeah, and quite a few games going on in the Tri-Cities this weekend in addition to cross country. So if you want to check out more about that, go to WIAA.com. A lot of great football in addition to cross country happening this weekend. And again, we're catching up with Director of Communications for the WIAA, Sean Bessette. So a busy time. Glad to have his expertise here. And we're going to dig into some of the changes going on at the state level for high school sports. When we come back, you're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
Back just in time for Thanksgiving, it's Biscoff season at Krispy Kreme. Try our 3 festive fall donuts with sweet maple and Biscoff cookie flavor, the perfect pairing for your Thanksgiving celebrations. We're thankful for our law enforcement, EMS, and military, with 10% off every day. And don't forget, fall fundraising's in full swing. Call or stop by to schedule yours. It's fun, easy, and delicious. That's your local Krispy Kreme, 2805 Duper Tail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth and leave with a smile.
This is the moment many car buyers wait all year for. The model year-end sales event is on at McCurley Chevrolet. As new Chevy models roll in, remaining 2025s need to move fast. It's the perfect time to trade in, save big, and grab a deal you won't see again till next year. These are the offers people plan around. Get here before they're gone. Experience the model year-end sales event at McCurley Chevrolet. Your way home.
Hi there, it's me, the water boy. Are you tired of water that doesn't taste or smell right? Woo! At Soft Water Specialists, we can remove contaminants and odors, leaving you with better tasting water. Your appliances will last longer, your clothes will be softer and brighter, and your skin and hair will feel incredibly clean. And right now, get 0 down and 12 months same as cash on all our water systems. To transform your water from H2O no to H2O yeah, call Soft Water Specialists today.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
We're back on the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports, catching up with Sean Bessette, Director of Communications for the WIAA, and talking about ring season and a busy time, but it's really a busy time for you guys all year long because when you don't have games or tournaments going on, you're basically preparing for them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The best times of the year are the tournament stretches, but we're busy all year long, doing exactly what you just said, preparing for these busy stretches so we can be firing on all cylinders at this point. There's no time wasted during these critical stretches of state tournaments where we're hopping in and out of venues on a week by week basis, but they're exciting. There's a lot of adrenaline flowing right now.
Yeah, so it's a long process. You guys have a lot of pieces to put together, including changes at the state level. And a really cool change this year is the addition of girls flag football. Tell me, how did that come to be, and what is the process of getting that made into official high school sport in the state of Washington?
Yeah, we're really excited to add girls flag football this year. This is the first state championship added, new sport added since 1999 with girls bowling. So, kind of a landmark in the association's history with adding a new sport, a new activity to the catalog of state championships. This was proposed as an amendment through our annual amendment cycle by member schools to be voted on by the Representative Assembly, which is a group of 53 athletic administrators representing leagues across the state of Washington. It passed with a close vote back in April, back in the spring, making it a officially state-sanctioned sport by the WIAA on August 1. And we're preparing for the first state championships this February. So it's coming sooner than we think.
Yeah, and you still have a little bit to figure out that it's February 13th and 14th, that place TBD. So people can expect to see flag football games going on across the state in the winter season.
We're kind of learning how to bring a new sport, a new state championship into the array of state championships offered. And so one of those processes is finding a state tournament venue. We already finalized those dates, February 13th and 14th as of right now. As well as we got to, finalize a tournament format and what that looks like. This month, November 17th, we have an executive board meeting where, there'll be some time spent talking about the flag football venue, as well as tournament format. It's exciting to see this all come together, actually putting a venue on paper and moving forward with that. Our team's working on those right now. There's a bid process where these state sites are able to bid to host state championships. And then our team from there, works on selecting the state tournament site that they deem most fit for the event.
It's really cool to see, being a former female athlete myself, of how the high school sports scene has changed for these girls, young women, the addition of girls wrestling. And then even though slow pitch softball is technically back, it's not a new sport. It just disappeared for a while. And now you're adding, girls flag football. It's just giving a lot of more options for young girls around the state.
You're 100% right. The opportunities for young girls to participate in high school athletics it continues to grow. You mentioned girls wrestling. We're one of the largest states when it comes to girl wrestlers across the state. Flag football is another one to add. We've had, I want to say, roughly around 100 schools that had been participating in it as a club sport previous to it being sanctioned. You mentioned slow pitch, that coming back into the fold. Girls bowling was the last, sport sanctioned in 99. So the number of opportunities for girls to participate in athletics and activities only continues to grow. And that's a really positive thing.
So the WIAA, you guys are involved in a lot of positive things, but you also do have to be the bad guy at times too, where you guys are, the judge, jury, executioner when it comes to making sure that sports are fair for everybody in the state of Washington. And something that's been, thrown around a lot, or some things that have actually been heightened to the WIAA level, have been about recruiting specifically in the sport of football. So in those cases, somebody can write anything they want, but in some cases it has been proved that there is a legitimate reason to believe that this is happening. On your level, what does that process look like, and how do you handle these allegations to be able to find if there's any weight behind them that you can prove?
Yeah, there's an alleged violations process that's kind of handled within the membership. Membership being, the 400 plus member schools across the state. That process is, like I said, internal. When alleged violations occur, there's, as documented in our handbook, which I'd love to refer people to. It's the process of investigating at the school level, and then kind of up the association if necessary. And so, it's all school function process. It's all outlined, kind of the steps and what that looks like. And, we receive questions about penalties for things like this, or what that looks like. It's all outlined in the handbook. And it's really the best resource that we have available to kind of answering some of the questions we have about, what about violations look like? What does recruiting look like? What happens in these situations? It's a really strong resource we have.
Yeah, and it takes a while to get up to the WIAA too. So let's say that I think there's something illegal happening. Where would a person go to be able to have those conversations?
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's just if it's a family member, or a parent, or just somebody within the school community, it's always best to start with the athletic director. The association's main point of contact with schools is the school's athletic director, and so. And that does not just apply to violations or, negative things like that. This applies to everything, the positive too. And so, the recommendation would be working with the athletic director on things like that.
Yeah, because it always starts at the local level.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, we're just about out of time. Anything else that you want to add, Sean?
No, beyond what we kind of talked about today, I would just re-highlight, these state championships are a really unique experience to get out and watch these communities come together to support their schools, to support their student athletes, and at the highest stage possible for high school athletics in the state. And so, if you've got some clear weekends on your calendar, please come out to a wide array of events we got going on over the course of the next month or so: cross country, swim and dive, soccer, volleyball, and football. Happening all across the state too. So not just in the Tri-Cities, not just in Spokane, the east side of the state, also here on the west side of the state. It's all over the state over the course of the next month. So exciting times within the association.
Definitely get out there and support high school sports. And Sean, you have a safe travel here to the Tri-Cities for cross country this weekend in Pasco.
I appreciate it, Jamie. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Again, Sean Bessette, Director of Communications for the WIAA. You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Well, that wrap up this week's show of the Sports Council. Thank you for joining me on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. A reminder, the Sports Council happens 4 times a month, 11:30 a.m. on Thursdays. But you can listen to this show not just over the airwaves at 11:30 on Thursdays, but also on demand at 1340ESPNradio.com via podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search for the Sports Council. And it's also available via YouTube. So lots of ways to listen to the Sports Council and support our local sports community. Until next time, I'm Jamie Council. Now we go back to your originally scheduled Seattle sports programming.